Alright, this video I am going to show you how to replace the Wi-Fi antenna on your iPad 2. This is assuming, of course, that you have removed the digitizer and removed the LCD screen. Usually in the process of doing so, you can really mess up the Wi-Fi antenna. It usually gets damaged. It's a cheap part. I get them from gadget vendors. I think they're great. Their shipping is really fast. So here's what we're going to do. You've removed the digitizer and you remove the LCD screen. To get to your Wi-Fi antenna, the first thing that we're going to need to do is to remove the dock port assembly. There's a little ribbon cable and it attaches straight down, so you'll need to take a little tool, peel up the tape, and you can pull it straight up. It's held onto your iPad case with two screws, one on each end. So here's that. Your Wi-Fi, I've already removed it. It's held on with 4 screws. There's 2 tiny screws right on the end, and there's a larger screw for the antenna and then another smaller screw for the antenna wire. You'll notice that the plug for it is underneath the motherboard, so we're going to have to make sure and remove the motherboard and lift it straight up. The speakers plug right here, I don't know if you can see that, you're going to lift straight up on it. You're not going to pull the wires out this way. You're going to lift them straight up and it comes up. Right here, this is just a little ribbon cable. It's going to, there's a small tab you just lift up and you pull it straight out, and this little cable has one of those hooks on it and you just pull it straight out. The motherboard is held on with 5 screws, so there's 2 on each end, and there's one right here where the battery is. So after removing those, you can use one of your tools and slowly pry up on it, and you'll see that your Wi-Fi antenna is plugged in right there. So all you need to do is pull straight out to remove it. Here's the Wi-Fi antenna as it comes from gadget vendors. It already includes adhesive on the bottom, so all we're going to need to do is remove the old and damaged Wi-Fi antenna, and you can just pry up on it, making sure that you're going to replug this one into the same plug-in. Okay, so as soon as you have plugged in your replacement Wi-Fi antenna, we're going to assemble everything just as it was. So the first thing that I'm going to do is replace the motherboard. And while I'm replacing the motherboard antenna, I'm going to go ahead and press this cable assembly in there because I think it's easier to do while the motherboard is up. And there's that tiny little ribbon holder that needs to fold down. Okay, after securing the 5 screws for the motherboard, I'm going to plug in this cable and snap the lid down. I'm going to plug in the speaker assembly, and remember it pushes straight down. Make sure to remove the adhesive backing. And set the antenna in place. And the last thing we're going to reinstall is your dock port assembly. And so it just attaches with these 2 screws and the port plugs straight into the motherboard. And there you have it. That's how to replace your Wi-Fi antenna on your iPad 2. Make sure to remove this blue adhesive backing when you are replacing your LCD screen and digitizer.